Yay, sunlight, as per usual. Blinded. Can't zoom out, sadly. Right, we're back again. I've got it on the tripod at the moment. I've got myself a drink. We're finally gonna do an update in the old flat garden. I've got it on the tripod for now, but it's probably not going to be here long. Also, the camera's facing into the sun, well, the other side would be, so I'm probably going to have to wait about 20 minutes or something for the sun to disappear. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick some tomatoes, and then just as the sun drops over the roof, I'm probably going to do the proper update. But yeah, it's taken a long time to, find any, free to do a garden update. I mean, a lot of things have changed out here and some things haven't, but still a work in progress. One thing I can say, here you can see, I mean, this is backwards, but the new fence that we put in here, you can see the end of it. That's gonna have to be extended again, because this ivy in this section, it's not gonna fill that gap. So I've already had a word with Tony and him and his friend Giovanni. Yeah. And we're probably just going to have to cut all of this out and about 2 foot of that, and we're going to have to just increase the length of the fence, to be honest. But I don't want to get rid of the whole lot of the hedge, because it's not good for nature. Tomatoes, yeah. Hello again, BD Bonsai. I haven't seen you for a little while. Yeah, live again. Currently you're just staring at me because the way my camera is facing, if I turn it round, it's just going to be bright sunlight. But yes, I was just saying that this section of fence needs to be increased in length. We finished the project on the right here of a new trellis. So we've got a new trellis up against the wall. I mean, I could easily turn this around, to be honest. I can turn the camera around and just show you while I'm on the tripod, because I'm actually using the relatively professional tripod today. We're live. Hopefully the internet is not. Yeah, I've got tomatoes. I'm gonna pick some. I've also got 3 cans of water I'm gonna use. Still waiting for these potatoes to be ready. Anyway, I'll swing it round. We may not get all of it in, but Tony has put a new trellis in against the wall, and I painted it with Tony. We painted the entire of this south wall white, mainly because the white paint will help to reflect the sunlight and the energy off of the wall, the bricks, so the bricks don't heat up. And we've got the dustbins at the back, so it helps to keep the dustbins cool and stop them from smelling too much. Anyway, I'll swing it pretty easily, and we can see the new trellis that we've done. Although at the moment all you can see is I'm gonna have to prop this up a little bit. There we go. Here we go, look. We've got a new trellis. I can never figure out how to. Here we go. You can see how we've installed this new trellis. and it goes all the way along this wall, which is basically in front of the dustbin area. But you can see that where I've literally painted it all white to basically reflect the sun off of it. So hopefully it will help to keep the bins cool. Also, we've got all these holes were always here. Well, thanks for joining Bangladesh, if you're still here, Mr. Bonsai. Yes, look at this. No more. Well, we've only just got started. Anyway, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. We've got a new trellis, and as you can see, the perennial sweet pea will be much happier climbing up the trellis. We've also got the clematis. We've got a clematis, I've weaved it into the trellis. We've got another one there. I've got three watering cans. And over here you can see there's a rose, probably masquerade from the 60s. And right at the end, may not just be able to see it, but the grape is there. I took 6 grape cuttings. 6 grape cuttings, and one of them took only the one. So that is a grape cutting off my father's Black Homburg German grape. And we have the potatoes, which is now August, and they're still not ready. I'm very surprised. They're not ready. And we have 2 amaryllis plants. I planted 2 amaryllis plants either end of this very short long bed, and I'm hoping that they will naturalize there. They won't get hit by the winter, and they will actually naturalize. The sweet pea is pretty much done. It didn't last long. I didn't really cut enough flowers off of it to keep it going. Because normally you keep cutting the flowers off of these, and then it helps to prolong the flowering season of them. But there wasn't really enough plants there, to be honest. I put loads and loads of seeds in, and very few of them came up, to be honest. The night scented stock, I planted night scented stock here, the seeds, and they were fantastic. You come out here late at night and you could smell this night scented stock. It was incredible. We've also got a salvia. Everything needs watering. We've just not had the rain in the UK recently. We really haven't. And this mint here, that needs water. But then again, at this late in the season, it's either going to flower, which it's trying to do now. It's trying to flower, and it will eventually be cut back. But yeah, the main thing is that we've got this brand spanking new trellis up, and this is going to be very good for tying up all these previously flopping plants. So we've got a grape, we've got a rose, perennial sweet pea, and we've got 2 clematis. No, I think everywhere is the same really. There's not enough water, to be honest. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pick some tomatoes, I think, while I'm at it. And then maybe do some watering. And these are very, very dark. Well, they're more black than red, to be honest. They're tomatoes. They're about this big, and they're pretty good. I I'm not exactly sure how many are ripe, and I'm going to check them now. To be honest, some of these probably wanted picking a bit sooner. They look a bit overripe, to be honest, but oh well. Well, this isn't all of them off of that plant, but you can see that they're quite a dark, purpley, almost black red, very unusual colour. And I've just had one, it's very nice, but of course I better save some of the seed. Live chat. Pumpkins. Yeah, I didn't have any pumpkins this year. I did last year. I tried to grow stuff last year. They're not really coming off the vine very easily. They're just, I'd literally have to cut them all off individually. It's stupid. It's just breaking the fruit, splitting the fruit. And that's that particular plant. That's pretty much half of what's on there, to be honest. And that's not bad, to be honest. I had some onions in one of these recycle bins, and I've already picked them out, the onions. They didn't get particularly big. They're only about that big when I put them in. They didn't get that much bigger, but they're big enough to make a meal. But that's the tomatoes off of this particular plant anyway. Plenty of tomatoes, yeah. So that is the right distance. We do actually have more tomatoes, but that's if I can actually move the tripod without creating a complete disaster. Oh, and now this corner. See if we can get this set up without a disaster. Oh, trying. There you go. More tomatoes. At least we've got a crop of something this year. Oh. These ones, if anything, do seem slightly bigger. It seems slightly bigger, the ones that are actually in the ground. And they're coming off the vine a bit better as well. Look at that. Right, that's the most ripe of the top truss. You can see that they're quite a bit bigger than the ones that came off that one in the metal container. And we got quite a bit now. Look at all that lot. There's quite a lot there. So at least we've done. Oh, phone call. I think it's Linda. Yeah, the onions weren't too good this year. I think Linda just tried to call me. You can see this. That one's got a split in it, so that's probably gonna get in my belly. See if we can get the lower down ones. These are pretty much all ready, these. Even though they don't really look it, they are. And I've already cut the lower leaves. So there are leaves much lower on the plant, and I've cut them off. And I've even taken some of the leaves at the top just to maximise the light that was coming in. But look at that. That's pretty good. That is pretty good, that. That's not bad result for tomatoes. Hey! Roven Amy. Thanks for joining. Yes, we're back in the garden, and I've just been picking some lovely tomatoes off of this plant in the corner and one just over there. I've just had a call from Linda. She's probably made something to eat, but I can't really deal with it right now. But look at these tomatoes. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, now that I've done the tomatoes, I think I'm going to do a little bit of watering of these potatoes and maybe the other tomatoes. We're going to swing it round. The camera is a bit wonky, so I'm going to have to move the tripod slightly. There you go. Danger! Looking at danger. Danger in the garden. Hey, Don Arnold! Hopefully I'll show him my I'll show Dom my happy lady soon. My industrial hemp plant, she's doing very well. Hopefully she won't get swiped. Hey Don Arnold, check out these tomatoes. Look at all these tomatoes, lovely deep purpley red tomatoes, Don. Lovely stuff. Thanks for joining, Hermione, Louise and Don Arnold, my volcano friends. Have another one of these tomatoes while I'm at it. Blood sugar is too low. Alarm went off. Oh dear. Yes, we have a blue spanner in the chat now. As you can see, we have a blue spanner. Well, get you some food, Hermione, and hopefully see you back in a few minutes. But now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a little bit of watering of these potatoes. We've still got a few tomatoes on here, maybe another half, but as you know, we're coming up to late August. Light is starting to disappear now, so whether they will actually ripen properly, I don't know. It's the same with these ones in the corner, but I'm going to keep it watered. And then, as you can see, I've got this drum from a tumble dryer, and that tumble dryer drum, that blue thing, it came from up the road, not far from, well, right next to where the boat is. There's a boat that's been left, a motorboat, and the tumble dryer drum was dumped not far up from there, and basically I put it on top of an old tyre and I turned it into a raised bed, and then I put late potatoes in. They were very late potatoes indeed. They refused to chit, they wouldn't chit properly, but eventually when they did, I planted them, so I don't know how big the crop's going to be. Probably not great because they went in so late, but anyway, we're going to do this potato, maybe do the water insect bird bath and the other potatoes. Well, that's one can down, and I managed to get quite a few different plants watered. We'll check chat again, shall we? We've done the mint. Yes, we've done the potatoes, tomatoes. You say potato, well, I say potato. Tomato, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Yes, we've done the salvia and the mint, and we've filled up both water bowls basically. And this tomato's had a lick. I'll probably give it a little bit more. We've got 2 more cans of water here, and I'm probably going to do the potatoes with them. Lower back is playing up a little bit. But then I think my back is playing up because I was literally standing up for about 2 or 3 hours yesterday, probably 2 hours, in the gaff kitchen, squeezing stones out of Mirabelle plums over the sink, and oh, my back. there must have been at least 500 to 600 individual plums that I squeezed just to get the stones out. And the mash is still in the fridge at the gaff. I'm making a third batch of plum jam, but these are the yellow Mirabelle plums, and I've got 5 Victoria plums in there as well that came from the tree at the front of the gaff. And there's a couple of plum trees out the front, and I took 5 out of 6 of the Victoria plums off of it. One, no matter what I'd done, I couldn't shake the tree, it wouldn't come down. So yeah. Oh dear. Hopefully if there are any potatoes there, that will swivel them up a little bit, but they're very late. They went in very late, them ones in the blue container. These watering cans, no, they were not the spring water. The spring water went on the cacti collection and to make my herbal teas, and it also filled the fish tank because I'm starting a new fish tank. So fish tank, herbal teas and cacti. But yeah, the spring water has been very good. Yeah, the jam, this will be the 3rd batch. The first batch was absolutely fantastic. The second batch, sadly, was a mixed plum that was foraged, and the sugar content of all the plums was a bit high. So I ended up having too much sugar in there, and sadly it actually did caramelize. It got a bit burnt. But I'm just about to start a 3rd batch, as Hermione knows, of the little yellow Mirabelle plums. Had a bumper crop of Mirabelle plums at the allotment this year, and I've got to cook it up. I've got to start it today. I've got to do this video, do what needs to be done with the cat, and I've got to go, to be honest, because I need to start this jam before I end up on the dev meat at Gar Online. It's already been done. There's never enough time in the day. No, I better leave that on there because I'm doing the potatoes at my back here. I better do this clematis as well. Before it's too late, because I'll put in another clematis. There's already an established clematis there, but I'll put a second one in, and I need to water it before it's too late. But if it all survives into next season, that new trellis, it will look fantastic because it won't all be laying all over the place. It will be all climbing up on the trellis. It looks so much better. Right, that's 3 cans of water down. W-O-R-T-E-R, water. As we say in South London, not a bottle of water. We don't call it a bottle of water here. Just call it water. Hello! You've caught DJ in the garden. We're finally doing a garden update. Oh, it must be a couple of months at least. Anyway, just picked all these lovely tomatoes from the plants. Look at all these lovely tomatoes. Lots and lots of tomatoes. Lovely juicy ones. They're a bit tough to pick from this smaller plant. They weren't really rolling off, pulling off. But the bigger one that's planted into the ground, much better, much nicer, bigger fruit on that. Now what I'm going to do, finish me drink. And I'm actually going to take the camera off the stand now and do a walk round, because I need to do a proper walk round. Hopefully I don't accidentally cover. Oh yes, don't accidentally create a disaster or cover up the microphone. Right, we're off. Oh, let's get going. We'll do a proper walk around now. Okay, I'm not sure if it was mentioned or put up on the page, but I rescued a grape. Now, as I left my gaff and walked down the road to the tram stop, I saw a grape growing at the side of the sidewalk or the pavement, believe it or not. And I sort of went, oh, I'm going to have that. So I went, yeah, I walked, sorry, I went to the tram stop, I went into town, got some lunch, went back to the gaff, and I got a pot and then some compost and a trowel and all that stuff, and I basically potted it up. So this is basically a rescued grape that I found at the side of the road. Okay, see you later, Don Arnold. Thanks for stopping by. Great to see you again. And anyway, basically it's been put into a pot and it's sunk into the ground. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep watering it inside the pot. It's got a couple of new leaves on it now, and then hopefully if it gets through the winter. Great to see you, Nifty Heads, biggest name in the game, Nifty Heads. Yes, and this will be going into the ground at some point next year if I can get it through the winter. As you can see, my odd job man, carpenter and painter Tony Patience, the talented Croydon guitarist, he made this Sansevieria trellis. So he took all these Sansevierias and he put them into a trough and made a trellis. So eventually these will go back to his they will go back to his flat. And there's another smaller one here. There's a smaller one here. Nifty Heads. And yeah, I'm hoping this will get through the winter. And it doesn't matter if it's in the pot, because if it produces roots and they go through the bottom of the pot, it's still feeding itself. But I've contained it so far because I don't want to put it in permanently. You can see there's cow parsley at the back there. We've got lots of feverfew. Feverfew is a great herb. Feverfew is a great herb if you have a headache or fever, or just basically want to calm your mind. If you've got feverfew, I use this all the time in herbal teas. Charlie Buster, Yo-Yo Puff Daddy. We got people in the house today. Yes, we have. Also, this blackberry just came up. I've potted it up, so we do actually have one blackberry that will eventually go in somewhere. The hornbeam bonsai is doing well. We've got 3 more. They need water, to be honest. We've got 4 more hornbeams there. But yeah, that grape, I'm very happy with that rescue grape. We got mint everywhere, and this is just a wall that I created, but it is tumbling a bit. more mint. Eventually these will just be cut back. These will just be cut back, these mints. Right, my father's one, I took 6 cuttings, remember? Only one of these cuttings took, and it was the one right in the corner next to the wall. So this first grape that I done was a cutting, and this is from the Black Homburg grape on my late father's allotment. So this will have nice dark black grapes on it. They're a bit tart. They've got the seeds still in them, but I'm happy with that. And we've got this rose coming up. You can see this rose that was already in the ground, and I'm hoping that that flowers and turns out to be Masquerade from the 60s, because there was a Masquerade rose here. I don't know if Louise is still here, but we've had this trellis put up. As you can see, we've got this brand new trellis that's been put up. Tony P put this trellis up, and as you can see, that we painted this entire south wall in front of the bins white to reflect all the heat and the sunlight off of the wall, and it helps to keep the bins cool as well. Not noticed too many bad smells, but we've got a brand new trellis to tie everything up to. Got another mint here, you can see it's trying to flower. We've got a salvia. It does help when it's been watered. It's done better when watered. I'm still waiting for these potatoes to properly ripen. Normally the plants would turn yellow, and when the plants turn yellow, you know that they're ripe, basically. I've just watered this clematis, hoping I need to keep at it, keep it watered, and the clematis eventually will climb up this trellis, as well as this original one that was already here. This is the whole idea of putting the trellis up, so we can keep all this clematis uniform, all these plants upright, so they don't fall all over the place, basically. Eucomis, we've got a eucomis here, pineapple plant. This one is a bit past it. There's another one at the back, you can see. Very interesting looking plant, eucomis. The one in the shade has lasted a bit longer. I'm glad they came up. We now have some heathers in. Whether they'll survive or not, I don't know, but I've just recently put that one in. I'll put these two Calluna vulgaris in, normal purple ones. These came from the garden centre at Buckland, south of Reigate Heath, and hoping that they come to something. Heathers. And we've got these 2 concrete boots. You can see these 2 concrete boots, and I put cineraria silver dust in them, filled them up with compost and put cineraria in them. So we've got 1, 2 concrete boots. This is a Achillea species. The little pine tree put on a little spurt of growth earlier in the season, but it's stopped now. So we've got this pine tree here, not entirely sure what kind of pine it is, and we've got this one here, which may turn out to be something like a stone pine. I'm not really sure what one it is, but Garden Glows, thank you for joining. Yes, it's a very small garden, but then when you're in the UK, you don't have much room. You've got to maximise what you've got. And this is the bird and insect water bowl. You can see a Beatty stopper in there. There's a couple of stoppers and bits of tile, roof tile. It's all pebbles though from the Blackheath beds, and insects and birds can have a drink out of that. I've just noticed that the cyclamen have come up. You can see the cyclamen flowers, cyclamen hederifolium. Hederifolium is in ivy leaf foliage. So the cyclamen has come up. Cyclamen hederifolium. This cosmos went in. I've been basically plucking the flowers off of it continuously. It's coming towards the end now, although these things have been known to go as far as November. I have had cosmos flowering as far as November. I have left some of these just so they sort of seed and land on the ground, but I don't know if they'll actually naturalise, to be honest. We did have strawberries. They're long out of season now, but we did have some good strawberries on there. Here's the tomato. It needs water. I might actually move this one upstairs into the loft. What I might do, I'll get one of these pepper containers and then I'll plant it in a pepper container, and then I'll move this one tomato up in the loft and do a trial. I'll do a trial in the loft since I've already got the chili pepper and the aloe vera up there. The Norfolk Island pines are doing a lot better. Now this Norfolk Island pine was in the gaff and it was really struggling, but now that it's been in the garden for a little while, it seems to have done a bit better. It's got new growth on it. We've also got a pine here in a pot. Unfortunately there's no drainage holes in the bottom, but this came from literally Arena tram stop. It was growing in between the sleepers at Arena tram stop, and I dug it up and stuffed it in. Right, we'll go out the front. Unfortunately it's a massive mess. It's a massive mess out the front. We need to get a skip round to get rid of another load of crap, basically. Oh, right. But first, we'll show you the happy lady. If Nifty Heads is still here, it's the happy lady. Look at that. Hemp, industrial hemp plant. You can tell it's a hemp because it's only got the 3 leaves instead of 5. Don Arnold would have liked to have seen this. And we're at mid to late August now. We've got a couple of months. It'd be a miracle if it survives and doesn't get nicked, but it's taller than me. It's at least 7 foot, and I've been cutting little bits off of it to compact it, and that's a hemp plant, industrial hemp. So if and when that's fully ready, I'll be using that in herbal teas. Tony P will probably get some, and Bitey Fiona down the road will probably get some too. I had 6 seeds and only 1 came up, and I kept watering it and watering it and watering it, and it's done very well. Look at all this junk. It's terrible, isn't it? We need a skip. That's what we need. We need a skip. Herbs. Right, we had all this stuff here, and I'm taking that this was some kind of mustard. I don't think it was rapeseed, it was some kind of mustard. And eventually later in the season we had caterpillars on it. We had caterpillars of the large white, or we had small white. We had basically white butterflies on it. So they've done what they need to do. They've stripped it. I mean, at the end of the day, a flutterby is a flutterby, and it's part of insects and the ecosystem. So I was happy to have caterpillars in the garden, even if they were just cabbage whites. There's another eucomis in here somewhere. Here we go. Look, there's another eucomis. Look at that. There's another one. Another eucomis. The birch tree, it will get through the winter eventually. It will survive. Yeah, cyclamen. You can see that this birch tree is very weedy. I'm hoping it gets through to next year. I think it will, but I don't think it's going to be a very strong tree. It's going to be quite a slender one. But the birch tree is doing quite well. And you can see the lady there, she's happy in the sunlight. Right, apple tree. Now that the autumn's come, it's a little less hot. Spartan, it's an apple called Spartan, and it was one that was in the pound stretcher in Church Street, Croydon. It was the only tree left that was clinging on to life. I planted it, and thankfully it has regained, and I'm hoping it will do well in this position. Also, we have another rose here. Now this terracotta square thing is open both ends. It was previously over the allotment, and this hopefully is another piece of masquerade, the rose masquerade from the 60s. And you can see I put this grid in front of it to keep it going a certain direction. We'll have to see what's happening with this ivy. I think all this ivy is going to have to come out because this fence needs to be extended from here. It needs to go into where that hedge is. And I do this as well. Hawthorn, hornbeam. There's an oak there. I don't know if it will survive. And there's another hornbeam here. And this is a spindle. So this is basically where the hedge is going to be. This wild rose, briar rose, needs tying up. But yes, it's just junk at the moment. You'll be surprised how much we threw out of the flat, and we put a lot of it on the wall, and quite a lot got taken away as well, which was good. The blackcurrant done very well. There wasn't a massive amount of fruit on it, but in that position it actually done well. I got a good handful of blackcurrants off of that. Other news, on Facebook, on a group, someone advertised that they were getting rid of a holly bush, and I picked it up a couple of years ago, and as you can see, it's got a lot more new growth on it. Last year people were picking bits off of it for Christmas, which was a bit annoying, but you can see that there's a lot more growth on this holly now, and I'm quite happy about that. Hoping it will fill this gap in. This Japanese maple, however, is suffering from lack of water a bit, but it's doing all right. And another pine here. The size of that will have to be limited at some point. As you can see, it's a lot tidier here now. Z has been here. I've got to move one of the bins back because it's empty. Look at all these secateurs, honestly, we've got holes full of secateurs. But the other side of this fence is completely painted white now, and that's to basically bounce all the light off of the bricks to keep this area a little bit cooler, to stop smells. It made sense, really. Again, everything needs watering. The Acer saccharinum, that needs watering. This Acer campestre field maple needs watering. This Acer saccharinum needs watering. I'll just have to use tap water. I've got no choice, really. Well, we've talked about the apple tree. It's doing well. Birch will get through the winter. Blackcurrant, this has been supported now. Tony P put extra support in to try and keep. I have done, yes, guerrilla tree planting. I've done quite a bit of that in the past. See, these are helping to support this arch basically, and this one here, and there's a metal post, and I cut a lot off of this rose. This is Rose Ingrid Bergman. It's a hybrid tea, quite a fun, sweet smelling one, and you can see where that's new growth willows around Norwood. I've planted stuff around, and there's one going across. So your Norwood area, yeah, that's basically where I am half the time anyway. So I took the oldest stem out. There was an older stem out on this Ingrid Bergman rose, and I just left the newer stuff basically. Not really much more to say about the front, because I still need to cut the grass. I will eventually cut the grass at the front, but there's not much. It's only what's around the diamond, to be honest, but I'm overdue. I've just got to get the strimmer out. It'll look a lot better once I've cut it. Yeah, greenhouse. Well, the greenhouse, the cactus collection has done very well this year. I think it's mainly because the spring water from Keston has just been such a big boost to them, really. They've loved the spring water. We've had a few plants that have been bordering death, to be honest, and they've come back. I mean, this one was not too happy, and it's Notocactus otinis. Well, it appears to be, and that's done a lot better. Also, this one here, which is a seedling of Notocactus herteri rosea lutus. No, it was hemp. It only had 3 leaves. It was industrial hemp, but it's very happy all the same. I had one last year, but it wasn't as big as that. I've literally been cutting bits off of it. It's an industrial hemp out of bird food. But look at all these Echinopsis, and they've all loved the mineral water, the spring water from Keston. Let's see if I can get onto this stool. Oh, get a bit higher. There you go. Look at these plants. I think this one here, this is the original Notocactus herteri rosea lutus. It's going to need a little bit more time and spring water to recover that one, but apart from that, we've done very well. Even this one here, they've all enjoyed that living spring water from Keston, the head of the Ravensbourne River. And you can see that the spines are even longer. It's like with the spring water, the new growth on the spines have been longer. We've got a seed pod here on Echinopsis subdenudata. This, I'm hoping, is Chamae labivia ragged robin, because I lost the original plant a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, a massive plant, and so I'm hoping that's ragged robin. This is a new acquisition, Echinopsis pink panther. I'm not sure. German hemp industrial, I'm not sure. And this, I'm hoping, is Echinopsis galaxy. It seems to be doing very well. I was looking for Echinopsis galaxy for many years, and I finally found it. I'm not sure what this one is. It could be Lochinva, it could be the same as that one. And this is a bit of a mystery. That is a mystery plant as well, because that's a recent acquisition. The Euphorbia enolpa. That is actually my odd job man's plant. It's a bit bent up. Euphorbia enolpa. The oldest one, I'd say this Gymnocalcium gibbosum. I've had that since about 1993 or 94. And also this one here, although it's suffering. I've been watering it with the spring water, but it's the growing point, or the apex, has been damaged. But there's a little pup on the side. I don't think it's going to do much. So this one, although John Pilbeam didn't like the name of it, Octoteronus scaparium, he didn't like the name of it. He said it wasn't legitimate. But this one, this Gymnocalcium gibbosum, I think is the oldest one. A lot of these have been repotted, to be honest. As you can see, we got cuttings. We got cuttings of the Pink Panther one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cuttings, and there's 2 here off something else. And this Gymnocalcium at the back, I took all the pups off, and I potted up all these pups. So we got pups of that, and we got Graptopetalum, and we got various, basically. And in my original agave utahensis or utahmensis, I basically took a load of pups off of these agaves, and I basically split these all up. So I've got lots and lots of cuttings of agaves here, plus different ones. You can see different ones. And again, they've loved the spring water from Keston, the head of the Ravensbourne River. And behind that, we've got loads of coleus cuttings. They've been so easy to propagate. Just take a cutting, stuff it in some water, a glass of water. Within a week, you've got yeah. And they produce roots so easily. No, they're coleus. They're coleus. This one here was actually a cutting from one from Coombe Gardens. I just took one cutting and then I grew it on. And this was a recent acquisition from the garden centre at Buckland, Squires of Buckland, south of Reigate Heath. And it's Coleus, Orchard Road. We'll go back up again. I found this step, basically. It's not the strongest, but if I use both sides at the same time. Right, we've done the Echinopsis. As I said, they love the spring water. These are a bit harder to reach. The Echiverias are a bit harder to reach in the corner. But now that the sun's started to go down, I'll water them a bit, they won't suffer so much. This behind here is probably Piloceras azureus, and this is again Tony P's plant. This is my odd job man's plant, so he's basically calling it this the hospital. And this Ferrocactus, as you can see, this Ferrocactus has become etoilated, as they say, where it's not growing normally. They call it etoilated. So this is basically in the hospital. We've got more coleus cuttings. We've got a fuck ton of coleus cuttings. Lilac ruffles, I think it was called. Lots and lots of cuttings. And there's actually some kind of the coleus. I think you can have coleus out in the summer. I don't think they'll survive outdoors in the winter. I'm hoping they survive in the greenhouse, but they're more indoor plants. But you never know, they might survive inside the greenhouse. Again, we've got this here. And I'm hoping, wait for this to go past. I'm hoping that this again is Chamae labivia ragged robin, because I lost the original plant, and that was one of my oldest plants from about 93, 94. Mammillaria prolifera texana. We're basically going through the cactus collection now. As I said, we've got some kind of gourd or pumpkin growing out of this pot. These are Tony P's plants, and they're basically in a stock tray. He's got various plants. The sun is getting a bit less now. He's got a mammillaria there, probably Harniana. It could be something else. And Oreoceros trollii. No, they have a rest period from October. You don't water cacti from October. They have a rest period, and then you water them again the next March or April. So this is, the back is basically no, it's not. And we've got other plants as well, and a scary doll head that I dug up on one of my bottle digging adventures. Cuttings of Mammillaria gracilis, the brown form of Mammillaria gracilis, Acanthocalicium violaceum, and we've got Notocactus magnifica with two flowers. We've got 2 flowers on there. Again, been very happy with the spring water. And Ferrocactus hystrix, which has again done much better because of the spring water. And I've finally moved Echinopsis pink diamond down. It suffered very, very badly last year with bugs, and I might have to treat it again, or at least try and wash it off again. But this was actually my favourite Echinopsis until the bugs had it. Ripsalis burchellii. You can see it trails down. This is Ripsalis burchellii. We've got stenocactuses. We've got 4 stenocactus and turbinocarpus. We've got a turbinocarpus with buds on it. Oh, various stuff in the corner. Couple of Euphorbia obesa, Euphorbia caput medusae, and there's an Aeonium and another Mammillaria gracilis brown spine form, and we have a Selenocerius inizii. I think it's inizii, Selenocerius inizii. So it doesn't have a big flower, but I need to ash. No, not ash. I've used other stuff, but these probably will have to be tied up with string to stop them from snapping. And this is the shadiest corner, and here we have a mixture of we've got Hylocereus here. Yeah. They have a rest period from October till March. Basically, we've got Tillandsia here. We've got Christmas cactus, Schlumbergera. There's a Sansevieria at the back, more Schlumbergera, and spider plant. We've got a spider plant as well, but I've put them in the shadier corner deliberately. They prefer it there. Another Coleus, lilac ruffles, another Tillandsia. These are doing better than the one upstairs. We've got Rebutia Kaislingii here, and you can see that these little ones are growing a bit more. This needs to be watered again. We need to get it through the winter. Before October, they have their rest period. They need a couple more waterings, but this is Rebutia Kaislingii. We have another big... Yes, I've used the spring water again this year, and they've loved it. This is another Amaryllis. This is a bigger one. Again, hoping to try and get this through the winter and naturalise it. My late cousin Stuart, he had original Amaryllis Red Lion, and he had it in his porch for years and years, and it will just keep flowering. Right, we've got Euphorbia Susannae. We've basically got a load of echinopsis here, various echinopsises. There's a couple of cuttings there. I need to water them as well. Oh, we've got lots of Mammillaria harniana. These are the big original plants of Mammillaria harniana, and again they've been watered a little bit more this year. These two have often suffered over the years from lack of water, but this time I have been giving them the spring water, and as you can see, they are, although they've not flowered, they have bulked up. And this was a cutting off the Selenocereus ernestii, rare noodle cactus. Mammillaria gisellii, this is unknown. Again, unknown plants really, the unknown name that I've come up with. This was a nice plant, but it suffered terribly with mealybug and other stuff, and I've not watered it for a while because I went through a period where I did water it a lot, and I did get a bit worried that I was overdoing it, so I've actually stopped watering it for a while. It's got new pups on it. You can see these new offsets here and there and everywhere, but they're not really big enough to take cuttings, I'm afraid. But yeah, I've been collecting cacti. Well, my interest started about 1991, and then I joined the British Cactus and Succulent Society in 1993, and I was still too young. I was about 13 when I should have been 15 or 16, but the British Cactus and Succulent Society and the Ravensbourne Geological Society, they still let me in because they knew I was keen. And you can see we've got two Pachypodiums here, Pachypodium gayi, two nice Pachypodiums, and we've got three Echeverias. The one in the middle is Pearl von Nuremberg, or Metallica. Yes, they named a succulent after Metallica. So we've got three Echeverias, and we've got two Pachypodiums. This is my chalk storage, and I've got some sand from Reigate Heath and a bottle garden. I'm not really focused on it. Also, these hooks have been put up, so this I know these hooks are put up, and this old oil lamp, and this is a proper oil lamp. You see ones and they're not as good as this. It's still got the wick. I've got paraffin in it now, and it can still be used. The paraffin is in this cupboard here. We've got these two little cupboards that Tony P made, and you can see the paraffin is in there, and this is what I use for the old paraffin lamp. So this has only just recently been put up. Also, another hook was put here, so we've got a hook here which basically holds the cable for the electric that comes down from upstairs. We've got the electric coming down into the greenhouse. Need to pull that up a bit. I need to pull that. It's a bit slack. Right, so this new hook is done. We've also put one here as well in case it's needed. We've got a hook here as well, and it's a nice old ornate one. Yes, I do know a lot about the cacti and even the names. And this, I made this. Remember I done a live stream of me visiting the graffiti. Oh, I done that some time back. Yeah, N9INE 9, and you put two of those together, you get 99. And it's basically someone that streams on Twitch that I follow. Very friendly American ex-Marine. He's a PNG tuber, and he's very supportive to everybody. I'm a graffiti writer, I'm a graffiti artist, and that's stuck there now for posterity. if you remember seeing the live video, if you look at my lives, there's one of me visiting a former dentist's surgery or villa, and this was left outside. It's basically some kind of kitchen stainless steel piece of metal that I pulled out of the brambles, and I converted it into a planter. Basically, there's a layer of gravel at the bottom, then I filled it with compost, and then I planted various plants into here. You can see the echeveria. Yeah. I'm good. I'm not fantastic at graffiti, but, and again, Graptopetalum, Euphorbia obesa. I'm hoping again that this is Echinopsis galaxy. We've got subulata, Apuntia subulata, something like that. It needs flipping neck. It's a bit wobbly. And another maybe Myrtillocactus geometrizans, I'm not sure. And another agave utahensis. But the funny thing is, I picked this metal trough up, this stainless steel trough. I put it on this is basically a shoe rack. Yes, that was incredible. Yeah, the old 1997 pieces. Yeah, that was quite the find. You can see I slotted it in. Look at this. It fits to the millimeter. What are the chances in that? It literally fits to the fucking millimeter. Perfect, absolutely perfect. You couldn't make this shit up. These are original jaws from the probably the kitchen unit was broken up, that was turned into basically these cupboards. We got these cupboards here. This is the second one. The second one is a little bit more ornate, as you can see. You can see how it's Gothic style, and we've got the cupboard there. There's nothing in it at the moment, or at least I don't. No, there's nothing in there at the moment, but we deliberately made these tiny little cupboards further down, and they look really nice. And then we got this one, which is basically a load of cat food, bird food. There's some books in there and some garden strimmer line. It needs organising really. And then either side of that, you've got more Gothic panels. They're not old, they're probably 60s to 80s. They actually came from Albert Road, not far from the Albert pub. Somebody left them. Somebody left them out the front, and I thought, and the problem is they butchered them. They didn't even unscrew them. They literally ripped them off of this kitchen dresser, and it was tragic. My carpenter, he had to do all of this. He had to rebuild all of it. But what we done, we built the frame around the panels. So basically he repaired the panels, and then he built the whole frame around this cupboard. So it was all tailor-made, the width and everything to go around these cupboards. And you seem to be in know for graffiti. Let's see if you recognise this quote and tell me where it comes from. It dates to 2001. My mind is spent, my bones weaken, my muscles tire. Leave me to my throne. Do you know where that comes from? You seem to be up on the graffiti. Do you recognise that quote and where it came from? It's a facsimile that I painted on the wall. My mind is spent, my bones weaken, my muscles tie, leave me to my throne. Brownie points if you can tell me where that was located. So yeah, all of this here, all of this frame, the entire of this frame, everything was all made out of estate agent poles. You go around the street and you have estate agent signs everywhere, laying on the floor, abandoned, 10 years old. And I was literally going all around Addiscombe just picking up all these estate agent poles. And then Tony P, he made the entire frame out of estate agent poles. We saved so much fucking money just, you know, collecting this stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that's all the plants, apart from a few down there. But they've definitely done a lot better since we've been using the spring water from Keston. What we got here, another blue columnar cactus, not sure what it is really. Mammillaria pringlei or something. I had to chop the top off hopefully yesterday. Hopefully next season it will grow some pups. These are basically recovering. That one suffered a little bit from these scale insects, but I repotted it and watered it from underneath. This Euphorbia obesa, I grew this from seed in 2006 and it lost its roots. I had to repot it and try and grow the roots back. So yeah, I've had that since 2006. No, that it's south. Yeah, my mind is spent, my bones weakened, my muscles tie, leave me to my throne. It was done by Golai or Golem. And there's another Ferrocactus hystrix, and you can see the amount of growth that this season this Pilosocereus pachyclados has grown. The amount of new growth just this season with the spring water, incredible. Yeah, it was by Golem or Goli from 2001. Heard they're closing. Remember Zombie Shop? I've been to Chrome and Black, Shoreditch, Bethnal Green, and I think they moved again. I'm not sure. I can't remember Hackney. I can't remember now. Chrome and Black Zombie. There's an original sign from a substation, electric substation from the pre-1980s, and that comes from Churchfield's substation. And this is the only danger sign I've got. I've only got the one double-sided danger sign. I'll put these up as well. Look at that double-sided danger sign. Who remembers the public information video years ago from the 80s called Powerful Stuff? Remember Powerful Stuff? That was terrifying, that. I remember that when I was growing up. When the kids and they got into a substation and he was trying to retrieve a football, and the young kid threw the football and ended up electrocuting himself. And you see one of these spinning in the background. Danger sign from electric substation. But I'd never seen the caution ones before. You off then? Okay. Thanks for joining Hermine. I'm only gonna go through the fancy stuff, and then I think gonna end zebra great polish sign. Grow your own. Always fresh from your garden on allotment. Grow your own. See you later. So yes, I was very happy with this trough. It literally fit to the millimetre. You couldn't put it in if it was any longer. See you later, Hermione. Busy Lizzie cuttings. These are the Busy Lizzies again. These are cuttings off of it. The pink one, my mother used to like the pink Busy Lizzie. I don't know where my knocker is. There it is. 296 hertz. And occasionally I do ring that 13 times. That's 296 hertz, that. And this one here, I use Spectroid Pinterest one, 246 hertz, that rings that. So I do occasionally knock these. We don't really know what's happening with the barrel. I did restore the barrel myself, but unfortunately we don't have enough water to swell it up. I'd literally have to drop that into a pond or a pool or something to swell it up again. So I'm not really sure what's happening with this barrel. I did try and seal it up with black mastic, but it's so shrunken now that it might all be for nothing. We'll have to see what happens. If I leave it out in the winter in the rain, we'll see if it comes to anything. This is a Trichocereus terschekii, and I literally, that had been in the pot so long. It was in a square pot, and it was in the pot for so long, years and years and years and years. It never had the chance to grow. But as you can see, that pup at the back, that branch at the back, you can see there's some life in there, and that hadn't been repotted for about 15 to 20 years. But yes, that is the cactus collection, and I've been collecting since 1993, and all these plants are in 3 different places, and they've all been moved into one now. Yeah, you can see that we've got this valancing. This valancing came from the same place on Albert Road that threw out these cupboard doors and the panels. You see the panels, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 2 drawers, and this valancing. And I had my carpenter and odd job man put this valancing on the top of this bar inside the greenhouse, which is unusual because normally you have all this stuff on the roof. And I deliberately said to the company I didn't want the spiky stuff on the top. Okay, take care, Louise. Thanks for stopping by. We've done a bit of an update. You can see that I've deliberately missed off the spiky shit off the top of this greenhouse. Finally, the sides, you can see the sides here, the door. Tony P finally sealed these gaps. Yeah. It should be alright. Thanks, Charlie Busno. There's that side. And there's this side that's been sealed. It's all been sealed. He's gone round, he's tried to seal up all the gaps. You can see here, look, the gaps are sealed. And here, I've done this one, but I've done it black. That's not, well, no, he has done it. So all this has been sealed. But as you can see, these windows, there's something about the metal. It's because of temperature. When it's cooler, the metal shrinks and the windows automatically close. And when it's hotter, they open again. So what with all this sealing that's been done, and with these automatically opening and closing windows, the temperature in here is going to be a lot more stable. And we've got the louvers as well at the back there. We've got the louvers, which are more of a 1960s 70s thing, but I don't want to fuck around with them too much. But it's a good greenhouse. Also, this bracket finally got put in. We had a bracket that had to go up, and he's only just managed to put it in. We got 2 more brackets, and before that was there, a spider showed Tony P up because the spider decided, oh, I'm going to build my web right where the bracket should be. And I showed it to Tony, and he just shook his head. I said, get to it, mate. There's a spider there, you should do the same. And there should be one this side as well, and that side. And you can see this stained glass window, Buster. This stained glass window was one that I found dumped at the ruined sports centre at Annerley, the graffiti walls at Annerley. And I found this years ago. Basically, we took it out of the frame and we just pinned it up. We pinned this window up on the east end of the greenhouse. So that's an old Victorian to Edwardian window. And it looks lovely. And we made sure we built all this in, and well, we built it around the cupboard, but then with the window as well. I think that is it, apart from there's a gymnasium here. Yeah. Did consider actually leaving it in the frame, but we didn't in the end. We just took it out the frame, and it looks more reclaimed, to be honest. You can see it from the other side. Annerley is still there, it's a big fucking mess, but the internal rooms are still paintable. Yeah. Just wood now, it's just a wood pile. We've got tools. This is where the other 2 brackets are that need to go back into the greenhouse at some point. We did find more brackets, so eventually these will be replaced. We've got lots more brackets, they're in the shed. So these will be taken off again and go where they should be, in the greenhouse. You can see here. yeah. So these need to go back in the greenhouse where they should be, either side of the end. Well, I'm already taking you on a tour, aren't I? These were reclaimed African tribal masks that I got. The hedge, we're coming to the point now where this hedge, we're in August now, and this ivy hedge is going to need cutting back. It shouldn't be too hard. I've got a 2-stroke petrol steel hedge trimmer, and we were very successful the last time, but I deliberately didn't cut it before because we had a load of honeysuckle at the top that was currently in flower. I don't think we've had any bird nests this year. Tony P cut quite a lot off of the spindle. We got a Euonymus europaeus spindle, and he cut quite a bit off of it, compacted it. You can see where the ivy had a message from Linda. This all needs cutting back, basically. And there's a crabapple in the corner that I planted in, basically that crabapple in the corner, and this spindle, I ordered them from a Tate and Lyle's sugar packet in 1999. They were millennium trees. There was a hawthorn and a birch as well, so I did have a hawthorn, crabapple, birch and spindle, but my father removed the hawthorn and the birch for some strange reason. I cut the crabapple back very hard at the beginning of the year. I don't think there are now. I saw more birds earlier in the year. We had robin and we had dunnock or tree sparrow, but I don't think we've had many birds, to be honest. Rubbish bin. We've got other stuff here. This is currently compost. Some of that was ex Mary Jo Grow that I found on Albert Road, South Norwood. So I was there with the buggy, just breaking into the bags and nicking all the compost. It's always good to use that stuff. These are not going to do much else. These are potatoes. There's probably not going to be much in there, but I'm going to harvest them to empty it out. Ivy, they need watering. There's a little ivy in this corner, and this one I'm actually going to leave here. I'm going to leave this ivy, and I'm going to control it. I'm going to let it grow up this end of the greenhouse, but I'm going to control it. I don't want it to go stupid and get behind everything, but I'm going to leave it there. And I don't know if you'll hear earlier, but I mentioned that I rescued a grape. I found a grape on Harrington Road, South Norwood. I was walking to the tram stop and I saw this grape growing at the side of the pavement, and I thought, I'll have that. I went into Croydon to get lunch, and then I came back here, got a bucket, compost, a pot and the trowel, and I went back and I dug up this grape. So I potted it up. It's a very long pot. It's in a long pot. I made sure I put it in a long pot and kept watering it. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this here through the winter till next year, and if it's strong by next season, I'll plant it direct in the ground next year. So this is a rescue grape. I do not know what colour it is. It could be red, it could be black, I don't know. Yeah, it was a good find, a lucky find. Quite happy with that. We need more rain, sadly. We've not really had much rain, and Tony P watered the garden with half of this water. You can see I put a little bit of weed in there from Keston. We need water from autumn and winter, and then when that one fills this one, I can just water with the overflow, basically. Oh, and there's another grape. I don't know whether you're here, but this is a cutting. I took 6 cuttings from my late father's black Homburg grape. It could have been, it could just turn out to be like a green dessert grape or a purple dessert grape from the shop that actually had a seed in it. I don't find it likely, but it could be. But yeah, this was the only one of 6 that took. This was a cutting, so it's not on a graft, which means I have absolutely no idea how this thing is going to grow. If it's not on a graft, it might not grow as much. It might go absolutely fucking stupid. I don't know. But this is black Homburg. It's a German black Hamburg Homburg grape my father had on his allotment, so I've got my father's grape here in the garden now, which is nice. Potatoes have yet to ripen. I'm a bit confused about that. Whoop whoop, there's a sound of the police. Whoop whoop, there's a sound of the police. And we've lost in here somewhere. We've got, oh look, we've got yellow fruit. I didn't realise, look. We've got yellow ones. Ah! We've got yellow tomatoes. That's an unexpected find. Warner brother. Look at that. We've got yellow ones. Lovely. Here come the feds. Yeah, this is a a snake bot maple. It's a Pennsylvanicum cross called Pink Flamingo. It'll probably look better in the winter or next year when it starts to grow again. We've got tomatoes on here, but it's just the time of year. Is there enough light to keep these things going? We're running out of light now. I might have to take some leaf off of here to encourage the light. And that is about it, I think. We've got a pile of brick here. This was in the corner just in front of the wood pile. I've just left that wood pile there. It's mini beast and mouse habitat pile, that kind of thing. I've left it all there. This was fucking heavy, this butler sink, and it was there. I moved it, and that's a lot of my odd job man Sansevieria. I need to check to see if there's any roots on them, because they're probably going to need putting into a trough. There's another spindle in a pot here, Euonymus europaeus. This came from the country park. I dug it up from the country park and put it in. And I think that is about it. Like I said, I cleared up all this area. This was all cleared up. What do I charge the bugs per night in the bug hotel? Well, I've got a bug brick pile as well. It's a bit lost. It's behind here. I've got a bug hotel here as well, and I've seen mice in here. And these are old pipes, and you've got old blacking pots, ink pots that I got from the bottle digs, and you can see these old short sections of pipe and bricks, engineering bricks and other pipes. These actually came from Betts Park in Penge, or Annerley. They came from Annerley. They were doing some work to one side of the canal there, and they exposed a load of 1920s pipes. No fucking good. They're all completely sealed up. There was no mortar, there's no joining in between them. But I thought I'll use them as a habitat pile. I'll pick up my walking pole, and I think that is about it. The main thing is we have this rescue grape. We've been picking tomatoes. We've got tomatoes here that we picked. Lots of tomatoes. And the biggest one is that we've put up this new trellis, and the wall's been painted white to reflect the heat off the bricks to keep the bins cool. It just made sense, really. So we've got a brand new trellis, and this will look absolutely fabulous next year when the clematis actually grow up this, and the perennial sweet pea. And we've got what is it? Hydrangea petiolaris. I forgot that we've got a hydrangea petiolaris there as well that needs tying up, and a masquerade rose, I'm hoping, and another grape, the big cutting of the grape. But I think that is about it. As I said, this fence needs to be extended to about here. We're going to have to cut about that much out, and we're going to have to extend this fence because this ivy is not going to fill the gap quick enough. These are the stones that I threw over. I've got to put them into place at some point. Even this cinerea, this is need of water. We've got this pot here, and then this pot is full of ironstone. Now this ironstone came from Reigate Heath near the golf course, Now in Surrey they have this building thing where they force these iron-rich stones into the mortar in between the sandstone, the brick, or anything like that. They call it galleting, and apparently galleting is good for preventing or scaring away demons or something like that. I collected quite a... This is really, really heavy, really heavy. And I think that is about it. We've got a pile of junk that needs to go. We had a load of stuff out the front on the wall. That's all been taken away. It took them just under a week, but we put so much stuff on that wall and it all disappeared. Nah, thanks for joining. I'm pretty much done now anyway. Thanks for stopping by. Keep in touch. I'll probably be putting more videos up. It's probably going to be weird shit, but my health seems to have improved a little bit. I'm not so bad now. It's just I've been catching up with stuff inside the gaff. And at the old flat, like I said, we went for about 4 or 5 days just emptying the loft. 33 feet long of loft space, just trying to get all the shit out of the loft. And I didn't feel too bad. I was tired, but I didn't feel ill. So recently health has improved slightly. Touch wood, we'll have to see. But I think that is about it. We're pretty much updated as much as we can. I think I've been pretty coherent. Need to cut the hedge a bit. A little bit of tidying up. Need to have words with Tony P. We need to get all that shit out the front removed. Problem is that hemp plant out the front. I'd rather keep it hidden, you know, for now. Even though it's not cannabis, it's hemp. It's still a herb, and it's beneficial for herbal teas and, you know, a couple of friends. It's good stuff to mix with the mint and the feverfew and other stuff. And of course all the caterpillars that are on the mustard plants, and they've all walked off and pupated, and they're probably lost in there somewhere pupating, and they'll be emerging at some point. Big ups mate, thanks for stopping by. Pretty much done now. I've got another video live going up, which was basically in the flat upstairs, so that one will be processing now, and this one's a bit longer, so this will be processing too. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I've pretty much gone over everything, to be honest, and recaps to people that are not quite in the know of the cacti and the greenhouse. But yeah, it's coming on. Shed is next, hopefully. We'll have to see. But that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to end it now, because neighbours made me something to eat and I need to pick it up. Linda next door's made me something to eat, so I've got to pick it up. But thanks for joining. Yeah. See what I can do. Thanks anyway, and yeah. Catch you on the next video. May well be normal. I've got jam to make, but I just haven't had the time. I've got Mirabelle plum jam, but we'll have to see. I might have dinner here and then feed the cat and then go back to the gaff, because I need to make jam tonight ASAP. Can't leave it in the fridge. Thanks anyway, and I'll catch you on the next video. We've pretty much gone through it all anyway.